Welcome to Wellness Health Services Health Talks. I'm Dr. Joshua Dirito, a family physician. I have interest in public health and cancer prevention and treatment. In this video, we are going to talk about how air pollution affects your health and ways to mitigate the risk. We are going to look at what is air pollution. We are going to look at some of the ways that we have air pollution, and we are also going to look at some of the diseases that are linked with the air pollution, and finally we are going to look at how to prevent air pollution, and also what you can do as an individual and as public to prevent diseases of air pollution. So air pollution affects your health, and there are ways to mitigate risk to protect your health from this invisible threat. So what is air pollution? Air pollution refers to the presence of harmful substances in the air we breathe, which can be natural or man-made. There are several types of air pollutants, which include particulate matter. These are particles in the air. We can have carbon monoxide emitted from various sources. We have nitrogen oxide. We have sulfur dioxide, especially from industries. We have volatile organic compounds. We have ground level ozone, which is a big pollutant and a major cause of air pollution. And then, which are some of the causes of air pollution? One is human activities. Vehicles are a major cause of air pollution. Industrial waste and factory smoke, we are all aware about this. Burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, or gas. We also have agricultural chemicals and burning. Then we have indoor pollution like cooking fuels and tobacco smoke, especially use of firewood and charcoal. These can affect individuals' health. So what are some of the natural causes of air pollution? They include volcanic eruptions. These are not things that are within our capacity, but they are also affected by climate change and what we do to the environment, whereby we increase the chances of these environmental hazards. We also have wildfires. These are highly common, especially during the dry spells, commonly caused by our negligence with fires. Then we have dust storms. These are also big risk, especially due to the issue of desertification with the poor environmental management. So how does air pollution affect the health of individuals? The air you breathe today impacts your health tomorrow. This you should be aware always. So what are some of the short-term effects? If you are, for example, involved in a dust storm, you could cough, you could wheeze, you could get shortness of breath if you are involved. You can also have eye, nose, and throat irritation from the direct impact of these hazards. You can also have fatigue, dizziness, and headaches, especially exposure to the hazardous gases like carbon monoxide or nitrogen oxide. Then we have the long-term effects, lung diseases, the chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. These are diseases that affect the airways, making it to narrow down and making the exchange of air difficult. You can also have risk of asthma, risk of lung cancer, especially from smoking. Then we have cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks, and also strokes from chronic exposure to these hazardous effects. Then you have brain damage and the cognitive decline from persistent exposure. Then you can have birth defects from chronic exposures and the persistent exposures, especially to pregnant women, and also you can have low birth weight babies, especially to those mothers who are smokers. So what are some of the common diseases linked to air pollution? They include chronic obstructive lung diseases. we have persistent asthmatic attacks and frequent asthmatic attacks. We also have lung infections and pneumonia, especially from the risk of chronic obstructive airway diseases leading to lung congestion and asthmatic attacks. We have also cardiovascular diseases which could lead to high blood pressure and heart attacks, and then we also have the risk of strokes. So other health issues include cancers, especially lung cancer. We also have diabetes and metabolic disorders due to persistent inflammatory processes. And of course, we have mental health impacts leading to anxiety and sometimes depression. Then, who are the most at risk of these air pollutants? Usually infants and young children. We have the elderly individuals, because these are people whose immunity is compromised due to the extremes of age. Then expectant women are also highly affected because of their lowered immunity. We have people pre-existing with the pre-existing conditions like diabetes, asthma, heart diseases. They are more at risk of the complications of air pollution. Then we also have people living in urban and industrial areas, people who are living near where most of the industries are, especially those that are associated with smoke emissions, emission of sulfur gases, and also nitrous oxide. Then we also have outdoor workers and traffic exposed population. Those people who live in busy highways, they are always exposed to smoke from vehicles, and this could be a life-threatening risk to them. So what are some of the ways to mitigate pollution risk? Reducing personal exposure, spending time in green spaces, taking walks in open places, in parks where there is good green coverage of trees and the natural environment. Also use of air purifiers indoors. Exercising in areas where there is clean air, especially parks, and also being where there is fresh air, and also monitoring the quality of air that we breathe. And also sometimes it may be necessary to use masks, especially when you're exposed to some of these pollutant airs, and also when you are walking where there is congestion. So some of the community policies and action that we can undertake as societies to reduce air pollution include use of public transport to reduce the emission from vehicles. The more vehicles we use, if we use vehicles as individuals, then the more the emission of carbon monoxide and other carbon gases. Also using non-pollutant ways of transport like cycling or walking where you can. Support clean energy solutions like use of solar energy, use of wind power. These are good sources of clean energy. Then planting more trees, and then also advocating for stricter air pollution regulations, especially from industries, so that together we can protect each other, so that we live a healthy life. So what are some of the practical steps that you can take as an individual to prevent yourself from air pollution? Use of clean fuels for cooking, especially use of gas rather than charcoal and firewood, which are risk for environmental degradation. Reducing indoor smoking, especially for those who smoke. If you have small children or expectant ladies in your house, try as much as possible not to smoke in the house. And if you have smokes, at least take about 30 minutes outside the indoor environment before you get in. Then making sure that our homes are well ventilated, using the natural air, so that we don't have to rely so much on the electrical lights. And then as a community, using eco-friendly products. We have had challenges as a country with polythene paper. There's a time that everywhere you'd go, there were polythene papers. but thank from the government policies of reducing the small papers use, we have drastically reduced